Morning and welcome to today's video cast, and I'm going to be looking at this big need that most of you will have. So let me put something and you might not even know that you're doing this, but this thing that you're doing that I'll be talking about in a minute is something that will steal your happiness, and not only your happiness but probably the happiness of those around you. And it's quite a sneaky disguised thing that is doing this, and it is your need to be right. So we say, I say in this course that I teach, be right or be happy. And it really is as simple as that. Be right or be happy. Because your need to be right comes at a great cost to your happiness. And it comes from a very old place in your past as well. And you might not be able to correlate the two things together, but that doesn't mean it's not true. So when you need to be right, it means that you are always going to have to prove that. And you're going to have to prove that through arguments, through dictatorship, or just through nitpicking, or through just, constantly having to prove, oh, you see, or I told you, or right, or you might argue your point of view, or you might be doing it to yourself. You might keep persevering in a relationship that is no longer good for you, or in a set of behaviors that are not good for you, because you have a need to prove yourself right, or on some very subtle level you still have a need to prove mum and dad wrong, or whoever it is wrong, so that you're right. So this can just disguise itself in so many different ways. But obviously, when I'm talking about all of this, this is about you. This is about your inner reflection, your inner ability to change and to be aware of what you do. Because the more aware of what you do you become, the happier you become. Because all you can do is control you. You can't control your rightness. You can't control the need to have that. Well, you can try, but it's exhausting and it comes at a cost of happiness. So your need to be right is something that comes from within you. And so that awareness, that self-awareness, and that change, and letting go of that control of the need to be right on whatever level that's at, whether it's you're aware that you do it, whether you're not aware you do it, or whether this video makes you go, oh my god, I hadn't even thought about that. At least it's starting that path to change. Because we can't change another. Most of us can't even change ourselves. We might decide, like, I'm going to go and do this new diet, or I'm going to do this new exercise, or I'm going to start journaling, or I'm going to start, doing my routine in the morning better because I want to get up earlier, because you want to do something positive. I bet you by day 2, 3, 5, 7 that you haven't done it, or that it's a challenge, and that those sort of gremlins come in and stop you from doing that. So can you imagine how difficult it is to change someone else? You just can't do it. And yet a lot of us will buy into the fact that we can change another. And you can't do that. It just brings a lot of misery and energy in the wrong direction, because that's an outward energy. If you really want to change someone else, you change you. Because when you change you, everything on the outside changes. And that might be, you might think it's a cliche, you might have heard that before and thought, what? Doesn't make sense. But it really does. When you get into this, when you start deprogramming all the stuff that you've thought was true about how you deal with emotions, how you deal with emotional intelligence, how you deal with mental health, how you deal with all of that stuff, being happy being the ultimate goal here. It's about unlearning and relearning stuff that you were never taught, and that actually should be in our schools, it should be in our homes. because it's really great stuff that sets you free. And that's the ultimate aim, isn't it? It's that freedom from your past. It's the freedom from being tied down to some old relationship that's still kind of kind of that thorn in the heart, or the thorn in the side, or that lament that you might have when you think about the past. That's because you still have energy attached to it. And so being able to sever those energies to your past is how you become free. But you can't do that through meditation. Those techniques are great. You can't do that through exercise. You can't do that through... There are very specific ways that you can learn to really not only sever that past and keep the good memories, the good times, get rid of the pain associated with the bad memories, but it also gives you so much more energy in your present moment. It gives you so much more energy to be happy, and in fact happiness will just become a base state, and it's not a place you're going to stay in forever, because it's impossible. But you're that contentment. I'm not talking about because that's not an emotion that you can stay in either, nor would you want to. But it's about just that base of being okay, and then having those moments of joy and pleasure and happiness, and then also being able to embrace those moments that you're less than, without it crushing you and those around you and creating disharmony for really long periods of time. That's not okay either. We don't want either extreme, but before we even can change that, we have to be okay about not being right. We have to be okay about not being okay. And that might sound like a lot of shoulds and haves, but I'm saying that from a place of really learning the things, because I believe that we should have these tools, and I feel it's a real darn shame that we don't. But they're easy to get. You've just got to want to get them as well. So be right or be happy. If you are wanting to be right, then believe me, it's coming at the cost of your happiness. And sometimes it's about just stepping back. It's about not saying that thing. It's not about proving that point. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a partner, whether you're a daughter, whether you're a son, whatever you are, this piece of knowledge can really transform you and then transform your relationships. And it's just about, why do I need to be right? Where's that coming from? And then realizing that maybe it comes from an old place, and then that's the first part to healing it. So hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't done a video yesterday and the day before, just been really busy with clients. But have a great day, and I will shoot a video and upload it tomorrow. Alright, thanks very much. Bye.